Welcome parents, teachers, staff. This is a very important night and a wonderful night for Lake Waco Montessori, Waco ISD, and Tarleton State University. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Stephen Harris from Tarleton, who's going to tell you a little bit about what a professional development school really is.
Hello, I'm glad this thing works very well. We're so happy to be here, and I'm happy to see all of you. This is a great day for WISD and for Tarleton State University. We've entered into a collaborative agreement where we have a professional development school going on. And the professional development school, in a nutshell, includes parameters for developing a learning community. And this learning community is for students, teachers in training, faculty members from Tarleton, and also from Lake Air, and community, business leaders, and everyone, parents, we're all involved in this. It is a wonderful, wonderful model, and it's taken after the medical model. So if you think about where your doctor is trained, this is kind of like a hospital where not doctors are trained, but teachers are trained. And everyone is involved in a collaborative effort. In sum, the PDS does mirror the medical model. It's a collaborative model in which there are interactive learning experiences, and there is the implementation of best practice teaching and learning strategies. And we're very, very pleased to offer this to WISD. And I want to thank certainly Dr. Bonnie Candee for this wonderful collaboration. And thank you all for being here.
We'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our stage guests from Waco ISD. First and foremost, our wonderful superintendent, Dr. Bonnie Candee. Jessica Hicks, the principal here at Lake Air Montessori. And Lois Wandless, who's going to be our facilitator of professional teacher development. And from Tarleton?
From Tarleton State University, let me introduce to you some very important players here. Number one, Dr. Ann Callahan. She's the department head for curriculum and instruction. We also have Dr. Jill Burke, who is the Dean of the College of Education. We have the Assistant Vice President for Outreach, and that is Dr. Kim Reinerson. We have the Vice President for Academic Affairs and the Provost, that is Dr. Karen Murray. And before I introduce to you our President, let me introduce the president of MCC, without whose support the University Center in Tarleton would not be in Waco, and that is Dr. Johnette McCown. Thank you, Johnette. Now, let me introduce to you our president, who has been very supportive of this effort, and without his support, this certainly would not be taking place. So let me introduce our president, Dr. Dominic DeTavia.
Well, good evening, everybody. What a great, great pleasure. I have to tell you, every time I have the opportunity to come out to an elementary school, I am struck by the enthusiasm and the opportunity to hear the talent of the students. And so, Ms. Hicks, congratulations on a wonderful school and such support that you get from your community of learners. I commend you for just a wonderful, wonderful place. I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Candee for allowing this to happen. Obviously, without the support of the superintendent and without the ability to come to such an outstanding school, this could not happen for our students. So we are deeply, deeply grateful. And I'd like to make sure that you all know that we have a tremendous amount of support here from Tarleton as well. In addition to the people that were introduced on the stage, there are a number of faculty and staff members and students that are going to be serving at this school as part of your teaching staff. And would all of you stand so that we can thank you and recognize you as well? I'd like to also emphasize again what Dr. Harris already said, that McLennan Community College has been just a tremendous partner for us, not only on this, but in so many ways. And without them, we could not be here to provide this kind of an educational experience for our students and for your students. So again, Dr. McGowan, thank you so very, very much for your help in making Tarleton possible in this community. You know, this teacher preparation is something that has been a part of Tarleton State University since we started way back in 1899. And over the years, it had grown to become the largest of the 5 colleges at Tarleton, and has been responsible for a variety of very important innovations at the university and in the educational arena. In fact, Tarleton is a host of what is called the American Clearinghouse for facilities. It's the only place in the United States where something like that occurs. It's a part of the federal government, Department of Education, and it is a testimony to the kind of educational experience that Tarleton can bring to its communities. Over the years, the innovation that has come out of that College of Education has been responsible for outstanding teachers. We're proud to claim your principal, your assistant principal here, and we know there are going to be many, many more coming through this school because of the great leadership that is provided. One of the things that we've just done as a university is we've gone through a process of identifying who we want to be in the future. And one of the things that we said is that we want to transform students. Student transformation is an important part of our strategic plan. A place like this and the kind of experiences that our students will receive here, and we think the kind of education that is provided to your students, is truly going to transform students' lives, both our students and your students, and for that we are extraordinarily thankful. So on behalf of all of those of us associated with Tarleton, know how very proud we are to be associated with this school and how much we look forward to helping your students achieve their greatest potential in the years ahead. Thank you all so very much.
Collaborations are important. We're able to do a lot of things like share resources and share ideas, but more importantly than that, we have been chosen by a prestigious university. This school has been chosen. They picked us out of all of Central Texas to say, we want to work with you. They will bring research, they will bring the latest methods, they will bring ideas, they will help pre-service teachers learn how to be great teachers. They will show us how to be better teachers. Our problems will be their problems to solve. We could not be any more lucky. They chose us, and I would like to thank you. This is huge for this campus and for this school district, and I can't thank them enough, and really can't wait to get started. And so we have a little surprise that I would like to share. We want everyone who walks in the front door to know that Lake Air Montessori Magnet School is in collaboration, a Montessori learning environment that nurtures young minds, develops future educators, and promotes a healthy respect for the world around us. Tarleton State University. This is our collaboration.
Thank you for watching WISD TV. You have just watched one program commemorating a very special partnership at Waco ISD, a new partnership between the district and Tarleton State University. The show you just watched was videotaped at Lake Air Montessori School, and you're just about to watch another program here at Cedar Ridge Elementary School. We are very glad to have Tarleton State as our new partner for professional development schools at Waco ISD, and I have some very special guests. First of all, to my left is Dr. Stephen Harris. To my right is Dr. Jill Burke, and they are from Tarleton State University. We'll start out with Dr. Burke. For the folks at home, especially those with students at either Lake Air or here at Cedar Ridge, let's talk about what a professional development school is.
A professional development school is what I would say is a win-win situation for all students, whether you're talking about public school students or for university students who are seeking to become teachers. The university students are in the schools, it's hands-on, students get lots of attention, they are taught with best practices, and we want them to be highly successful just as we want our future teachers to be highly successful. So it's a very engaging, in my opinion, it's the very best way to prepare teachers. And the ripple effect of that professional development school is something we can't even begin to predict right now, all the benefits that could come of that.
In your program that we saw a moment ago, and here at Cedar Ridge as well, you talked about how long Tarleton State has been a school of education, or a school to educate future teachers. You guys have been at this a long time.
Yes, we have. We like to say that the roots of Tarleton State University are in teacher preparation, and that long history is something that we've been able to continue to build on, and this is our latest and one of our most exciting endeavors, so we're very pleased to be part of the partnership.
I was going to ask you, is this your first PDS model, or have you been engaged with other districts?
We have been engaged with other districts, but it's been a long time. Actually, that was my first experience as a faculty member, was directing a professional development school. So that's part of my passion, I believe, for it, is I could see the difference that it made for students and for faculty and teachers. So it's great for everyone.
We are so pleased to have Tarleton State on our campuses, and I know that your students are going to benefit. I know our teachers and our students are going to benefit. It's win-win.
It definitely is, and the relationships that are built are so important to the whole process as well. We really haven't talked about relationships, but that is a key piece as well. So we're glad to be here.
Very good. Dr. Jill Burke, thank you so much. We're going to turn now and talk to Dr. Stephen Harris, also from Tarleton State University. You had some very encouraging words and nice words to say. This is very exciting for everyone, including you. You expressed a lot of excitement. Talk about that.
Well, we're very excited about this because the bottom line is student achievement. And we feel like this is really going to help WISD students, but also our students, as Dr. Burke talked about, and the future teachers in this area. Certainly, this is going to be one of the best models available out there for teaching our teachers how to teach. And so it is, like Dr. Burke said, a win-win situation, no question about that.
Talk about how long it's taken to come to where we are today. Obviously, a partnership like this doesn't happen overnight.
You're absolutely correct. I thought it might take overnight, but no, it's taken almost a year now. Dr. Kane approached me probably about a year ago, and we began talking about it at that time. We agreed to do this, and of course Dr. Burke and the department head, Dr. Callahan, and I got together, and we enthusiastically endorsed what we were talking about with Dr. Kane, and everyone got together. And it's just taken, I would say, tens and tens of people getting together and discussing this and working out details and going through the Texas A&M University system and through the WISD system. Yes, it does take a little while to do this, and I must say that the support we received from MCC, because MCC gives us the opportunity to have facilities here in Waco. And Dr. John McCown, the president over there, has been very supportive of this effort as well. So we've had support all the way up through the chain at Tarleton, Waco Independent School District, Texas A&M University, MCC. We're very proud of this accomplishment. Really, it's taken almost a year, but really that's a pretty short time. It could have taken years to do this, but everyone was so enthusiastic about it till we got this accomplished. So we're very happy to do so.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Tarleton State, because when you first mention that, you think Stephenville, you think part of the Texas A&M system, but you're also really a part of Waco thanks to MCC.
Yes, we are. In fact, we've offered courses in Waco for a number of years, actually a number of decades. Myself, I actually took courses in Waco when I was working on my undergraduate degree and my master's degree years and years ago. This goes back to the late 70s and early 80s. And so, yes, we've been here for an awfully long time. In a more formal setting, it's been more like maybe a decade. And at the University Center, it's been more like 7 or 8 years. So, again, things are really progressing here for the state-supported university here in Waco.
You made some comments tonight here at Cedar Ridge to the parents and making note that their children should see a huge difference in education in the classrooms thanks to this partnership.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. Our research shows, and research throughout the nation shows, that the professional development school model will really make a tremendous difference in the implementation of best strategies for teaching kids. And in this collaborative model, where parents can actually get involved. Everyone is involved. All the stakeholders are involved. Parents, administrators, teachers, the student teachers, and certainly university personnel, and even business members and community members. So this is a collaborative effort. We don't do this on our own. There's no question. It takes many of those components within the community to make this really occur. And student achievement is always the bottom line.
Well, as you can see, we're very proud of the partnership, because at both ceremonies, both at Lake Air and here at Cedar Ridge, we presented some banners that will be proudly displayed here, showing that our partnership with you guys. So we appreciate it.
We appreciate it too. We're very proud of this collaboration.
Very good. Dr. Stephen Harris, Dr. Jill Burke, thank you so much for being here today and tonight. And thanks to Tarleton State University for a great professional development school partnership here at Waco ISD. This is Dale Caffey reporting from Cedar Ridge. Now let's watch the Cedar Ridge ceremony.
We deeply appreciate you being here tonight. My name is Dr. Terry Patterson. I'm the Executive Director for Elementary Education for Waco ISD. We're very pleased to be in collaboration with Tarleton State University and have our very special celebration and kickoff ceremony to celebrate that tonight. Beside me is Dr. Stephen Harris from Tarleton State University, and he's going to explain just a little bit about what a professional development school really means.
Thank you, Terry. I always do what Terry Patterson tells me to do. This is a great day for Waco Independent School District and for Tarleton State University, and particularly for the students in WISD. We have entered into a collaborative agreement to provide unique educational services that are mutually beneficial to everyone concerned and to all of the stakeholders here in Waco Independent School District. The mission of the Professional Development School includes parameters for developing a learning community for students, a learning community for students in training to be teachers as well, faculty members from WISD, Tarleton, administrators, community, business leaders, and parents in a way that provides effective result-based instructional programs. And so we're very proud that Waco Independent School District and Tarleton State University have entered into this professional development school arrangement. And in fact, I said it was unique, and it is unique. There are only a few of these in the state of Texas. And if you look at the record, they are very, very successful because they're based on research-based best strategies. And it's also based on the medical model. So if you think about how your physician is trained in hospitals, they're not trained in some isolated place or some isolated university. They are trained on the ground in the hospitals? Well, our teachers are going to be trained right here in the field, in schools, with real students and parents and stakeholders alike. So we felt like that this is the very best way to not only train teachers, but also to ensure that student achievement has the very best chance to succeed. And so we're very happy to enter into this collaboration with Waco Independent School District. And some of the people who make this possible, I'm going to introduce to you some of the Tarleton people. And again, I'm not leaving out WISD because Dr. Patterson will introduce Waco Independent School District personnel in just a second. But first of all, we have, and I'm just going to go down the row so I don't leave anyone out. All of these people are so very important to what we do here. First of all, I'm going to start with the department head for curriculum and instruction, Dr. Ann Callahan. And I'm going to go to, I'm going to skip over Tarleton just for a second and go to the MCC, University Center Associate Director, and that's my good friend Annette Scott. And now I go to our Assistant Vice President for Outreach, Dr. Kim Reinerson. Okay, coming on around. We have our Provost and our Vice President for Academic Affairs. That's Dr. Karen Murray. Thank you, Karen. And then the Dean of the College of Education, that is Dr. Jill Burke. And before I introduce our esteemed president, I'm going to introduce to you the president of McLennan Community College. Without her support, the University Center would not exist, and therefore this collaboration would not exist. And so we're grateful to Dr. Johnette McCown. Thank you, Johnette. And now let me introduce to you our leader, who brings with him much credibility from his academic past. And without his support, certainly this could not happen. So let me introduce to you Dr. Dominic Dottavio.
And I want to introduce to you our Waco ISD stage guests as well. First and foremost, our wonderful superintendent, Dr. Bonnie Candee. The principal of Cedar Ridge, Andrea Nolan. Our facilitator for professional development, Lois Wandless. And I know I said Dr. Dillon is right over here, the assistant principal, Mr. Reisinger, the instructional specialist, and I see many, many teachers. Wave your hands, teachers. Thank you very much for being here. Dr. Fabio.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's apparent to me you like your local folks better than you like us. And that's a good thing. I'm glad you do. I'm so glad you did. Let me begin by first saying thank you so very much to your superintendent. Thank you, Dr. Kane, for what a marvelous opportunity we have. To your principal, who you obviously love dearly, for making this possible to allow us, Tarleton State University, to come in and to be a partner with you. As Dr. Harris said, this is something that cannot happen without collaboration. It's something that couldn't happen without partnerships. And one of the very important partners that we have in the Waco community, in fact, we could not be here without them, is McLennan Community College. And so, Dr. McGowan, I want you to know how very much we appreciate the opportunity to be on your campus and to provide a lot of educational opportunities to those who aspire to go on for four-year degrees and master's degree and doctoral degrees. So thank you, Dr. McGowan, and thank Dr. Thank you. You know, Tarleton is extraordinarily blessed because we have outstanding people. You've met a number of them here on this stage, but there also are a number of teachers and staff members from Stephenville, from Fort Worth, and from Waco in the audience with us today. And I'd like all of you that are with us, would you stand so we can acknowledge and thank you for the important work you bring to this. Thank you, guys. Something I'd like all of you to know is as we enter into this partnership with your school, Tarleton is a place that has taken education, the profession of education, very, very seriously. We started back in 1899. In 1899, we had programs related to teacher preparation. And so this is something that we have taken seriously for over 100 and, how many years is that? I'm not a math guy. 100 plus years, 114, thank you, Provost. She is. So it's something that we have taken seriously. Over the years, education has become one of the largest, if not the largest program for us at Tarleton. It's been the pocket of innovation on a variety of important things, one of the longest professional development programs in the United States. In fact, we haven't been able to find any that's been in existence any longer than the one at Tarleton. And so that's a great testimony to the power of this university and the commitment it has to education. The other thing I'd like you to know is that Tarleton has identified as the vision that it has for the university to be the premier student-focused are the important words here, university in the state of Texas and beyond for that matter. And I want you to know that because what that means is that we're committed to transforming student lives. And this program today is precisely about that, transforming the lives of the students here at the elementary school, but also for those of you who are Tarleton pre-service teachers, our students, it's about transforming your lives as well, to make you the very best you can be, to walk out of Tarleton and be a contributing citizen to this world and know how to teach better than anybody on the planet. And we trust, because of a partnership like this, that we indeed are going to be able to do that. The medical model that Dr. Harris talked about, that has been who we have been at Tarleton. We have a program called Keeping It Real. Keeping it real means we want people to walk out of Tarleton with a real education. Know the theory behind how to do something, but know the art and the practice of it. And I'll tell you what, that medical model, I know if I had a brain surgeon, I wouldn't want him to just learn in a textbook. And I trust parents, students that are here, I trust that you will understand that you would like to have your teachers know something about how life really is in the classroom. And that's what this is about, keeping it real and making sure we provide you with the best educators possible in this community. We're proud to be a partner with you. We look forward to great things and great days ahead for this school and for Waco. Thank you all so very much.
We are so lucky. Tarleton is a very prestigious university. They could have chosen any school district, and I assure you, had it been out there, everyone would be vying to be the school that was chosen, and we were chosen. Collaborations are good. They're good for the taxpayers. They save money, they save resources. Tarleton doesn't have to buy a building and bring people in. We don't have to pay for a very expensive and worth every cent, but universities are expensive, bringing a very expensive because they're so well-schooled faculty to help us get good student teachers. So it's a win-win for everybody. Most importantly, so many good things are going to happen. Our experienced teachers are going to be able to share with these new teachers valuable lessons that cannot be learned by anyone who has not been in the classroom. And trust me, when I was a new teacher, you have these really good thoughts. But when you try to make them happen in the classroom, not such a good idea. And that's what our experienced teachers will do. They will talk to the student teachers, and they'll even let them sometimes do an idea that's not quite maybe the best idea, because how better to learn? Because what's the question? The question, I mean, the statement's not going to be, what were you thinking? The question was, how did that go? Why didn't that go well? What would you do different? And that's teaching, and that's the kind of teaching that our pre-service teachers are going to get. Plus, our teachers get to have the most innovative, latest research, and I bet you we're probably going to be part of some research models too, where they come in and try different lessons. I mean, this could be the Cedar Ridge, the beginning of the Cedar Ridge model, that we put something in place here and it works so well, it goes everywhere else. We have the opportunity of a lifetime, and I cannot thank you enough. And we have a little surprise for you. Just 1 second. I believe I can get Dr. Patterson and Miss Nolan and some little help here. We have a surprise, because when people walk in the front door, we want them to know that we are a professional development school. So we have a sign, show.
You've been watching a very special ceremony here at Cedar Ridge Elementary, commemorating the partnership between Tarleton State University and Waco ISD for professional development schools. I'm joined now by Angie Copeland. She's actually a student teacher here with Tarleton State at Cedar Ridge Elementary, and this is Kathy Cowan. She's a longtime teacher at Cedar Ridge and in Waco ISD. In fact, she's a Waco ISD product, I believe, Kathy, of Waco High School. So, first of all, let's talk to the teacher who's been here for a long time. Talk to me about how happy you are that this campus, Cedar Ridge, is now a professional development school.
We're very excited that this is a professional development school. It adds a new interest to us as veteran teachers. We see fresh ideas, we see excitement. It reminds me why I wanted to be a teacher in the first place. I just think it adds to instruction. It gives us more hands for more children. We couldn't be more excited.
You have been at this for about 30 years, is that correct?
34.
Okay, 34 years ago, they didn't have the PDS concept. It was a lot different. Talk about how it was back then and how you would have benefited from a program like this.
When I was in the education program at Baylor, I went to class for half of the semester and student taught for about 6 weeks. So you don't really have the opportunity to see the beginning of the year. You don't have the opportunity to see how procedures are put into place. It's just a whole different ballgame. I feel like these men and women will come out with almost a year's experience.
And you have a young lady already helping you in your classroom. Talk about how she jumped in and just started to work.
She absolutely jumped right in. She worked with 2 small groups. She helped me with procedures. She got at the end of the line. She handed out papers. She never sat down for the 5 hours that she was with me.
Kathy Cowan, you have a great year. I know it's going to be even a better year now that you're a PDS.
It certainly will be. We're very excited. Thank you.
Very good. Kathy Cowan, a longtime 34-year veteran teacher here at Cedar Ridge Elementary. And now to Angie Copeland. Angie is in a classroom. What grade are you in right now at Cedar Ridge?
In 5th grade with Miss Livingston.
Okay. And Miss Livingston, you've been with her about a week now or so?
Yes, Monday was my first day.
Well, we talked a moment ago about how her student teacher jumped in, and you obviously jumped in too. Talk about some of the experiences that you've already had.
Well, for example, the first day I was there, they're reading a novel. They were listening to a portion of the chapter on tape. Well, the tape broke, so I was able to just jump in and said, I'll read it, and I was able to jump in there and do that part. And when they're working independently, when they have their hands up to ask questions, I was able to walk around and help answer questions that they had.
You obviously think that this program is going to benefit you greatly. Talk about that.
Yes, it already has, because you can learn a lot of theory in a book, but you don't know how to implement it. You don't know what classroom management looks like from reading a book. You have to see it, and you have to do it, touch it, and feel it. And so it's been really great to get to see a real teacher's lesson plan and watch her and see how she actually implements that and how she differentiates for different students that have different needs. So that's been really valuable to get to see these teachers do what they do.
You sound very excited about becoming a teacher. How long have you been wanting to be a teacher, or when did you decide?
You know, I was in my late 20s when I began teaching Sunday school at my church, and that's the first experience I had working with children, and I loved it. And I thought, you know what, I think I would really like to actually do this for a living, do this full time, and the opportunity became available, and so I'm a non-traditional student going back to school.
And obviously have taken advantage of a program at Tarleton that's benefiting you greatly.
Yes, and I'm just thrilled about that this opportunity is here in Waco, because as a non-traditional student, Baylor is not an option for me. So being able to do everything here at MCC through Tarleton has been an invaluable gift for me.
Very good. Angie Copeland, congratulations. Have yourself a great year in that 5th grade class.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and also thanks once again to Kathy Cowan. You have a great year as well.
Thank you.
And again, we're so very, very proud and happy to have the partnership between Waco ISD and Tarleton State for professional development schools. This is Dale Caffey reporting from Cedar Ridge Elementary, where there are learners today, leaders tomorrow.